From South Carolina Public Radio, this is the South Carolina Lede. I'm your host, Gavin Jackson, and this episode was recorded on January 19th, 2026 from South Carolina Public Radio Studios here in Columbia. Happy Dr. Martin Luther King Day. That's right, we're working for you.
Oh my God.
On this episode of The Lede, we hear from some potential 2028 Democratic presidential hopefuls. And we also remember the legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. while we freeze at the King Day at the Dome event. 26 years, baby. We also have
major campaign trail updates,
including fourth quarter fundraising numbers, and one candidate has already announced a running mate.
Oh, wow, man.
Yeah. Oh, wow, indeed. And we're always looking for running mates, and you can announce that at 803-563-7169. You do not have to be on a sailing vessel, though it doesn't hurt. We would love that. So give us a shout, 803-563-7169. It's very chilly out there. It's that time of year, but I think this is always the coldest, and it's just up from here, folks. And I know I'm saying that while you're looking at your power bill, but it's only going to get better, right? Right. 803-563-7169. We'll keep you warm. Right. All right, let's take a look at what's on tap this week at the State House. There are so many meetings this week that I'm just not going to maybe list them all.
Oh, okay.
We'll get into that habit more once we get into more of a groove where there's not so many. But if you want to know what's going on and see some of these meetings, scstatehouse.gov, they're all listed right there. And we'll be bringing you highlights from the biggest meetings, the biggest action in Saturday's podcast. Don't worry, it's the hottest action always. Up in Congress, the House is in this week and the Senate is out. On the economic front, there's no major economic news this week unless something happens to Fed Chair Jerome Powell. Always watching out for him. But everyone is in Davos at the World Economic Forum. We were supposed to be there. There was some private jet problem. We got grounded, so we're not going to Davos. But you'll be hearing a lot about that from the winter wonderland in Switzerland. But last week, we did see consumer price index data, or inflation, tick up by 0.3% in December, putting it at 2.7% for the year, which is, again, still above the 2% the Fed wants it at. So sticky inflation sticking around here. But let's move to our big story, King Day at the Dome. The annual King Day at the Dome event took place Monday to commemorate and honor the legacy of civil rights leader Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. There were more than 30 speakers, including several lawmakers and 2028 potential Democratic presidential candidates, including New Jersey Senator Cory Booker, who's no stranger to the state.
How you doing?
And California Congressman Ro Khanna, who's also no stranger. They spoke, as well as gubernatorial candidate Representative Jermaine Johnson of Hopkins, and Senate candidates Dr. Annie Andrews and Catherine Fleming Bruce and Brandon Brown. We also heard from the last Democrat to challenge Senator Lindsey Graham, former DNC Chairman Jamie Harrison. Now, the day started at Zion Baptist Church with a prayer service that included Mayor Daniel Rickenman of Columbia, who called for unity.
And we look at the broader theme of building communities. It made me kind of think back a little bit from things that I had read over a period of time. And it reminded me of something that Dr. King wrote in his final book, Where Do We Go From Here? Chaos to Community. Dr. King was quoted in this book saying, "It is not a sign of weakness, but a sign of high maturity to rise to the level of self-criticism." If we truly want to honor Dr. King's legacy, we must do what many refuse to do, which is confront the enemy within. Within us, in our houses, in our communities, in our state, and in our country. It is very easy for us to celebrate Dr. King's dream, but it's much harder for us to practice, especially practice self-criticism.
Columbia Democratic Representative Hamilton Grant also spoke about how to fix the long road to change. While some items and issues seem to move faster in our state, he, like others throughout the day, said that the solution is to get more people registered to vote and to actually vote for issues that matter to Democrats.
And while it is on today that we have gathered in this hour to celebrate the shiny penny of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., I came to remind you, the state of South Carolina, that it's time to make some change. In fact, Dr. King once said that change does not roll in the wheels of inevitability, but comes through continuous struggle. When it takes 8 years to fix Hardscrabble Road, but the governor can attempt to wipe out diversity, equity, and inclusion with the stroke of a pen, it's time for some change. When the General Assembly can take your tax-paying dollars and give it to private schools for their kids, but we have schools in Allendale, Dillon County that can't even get adequate funding, it's time for a change. When we have leaders who are praising the big, beautiful bill, but we don't have a hospital in every county in this state, and we have healthcare facilities that are shutting down, it is time for a change. Now, I don't know about any of you here, but in the times where I've found spare change, it has never fallen in my lap. In fact, I've always had to bend over and pick it up off the ground. Now, hear me clearly. In the year of our Lord 2026, change in this state is not going to happen by itself.
The congregation sang "Lift Every Voice and Sing," widely acknowledged as the Black national anthem, and one any potential Democrat trying to court 2028 presidential primary voters should learn, as Booker has. Now, under sunny blue skies and chilly January weather, folks, including Booker, marched from the church on Washington Street to Main Street and down to the State House under a heavy police presence and cordon with the unbeatable escort of the South Carolina State University's Marching 101 Band. And as a side note, it was an especially joyful day for the state's only public HBCU as the Bulldogs celebrated the 2025 HBCU National Football Championship with the school flag flying atop the State House dome with the American and South Carolina flag, an honor schools get for winning national championships. But following 24 speakers from various groups bringing greetings, blessings, and musical entertainment, several Democratic politicians spoke, as I mentioned above. And the event is nonpartisan, we should note that an NAACP leadership said that everyone running for higher office was invited to speak, but no Republicans were present or gave speeches. And like we said, 3 U.S. Senate candidates seeking the Democratic nomination did speak. We listed this above. They're seeking to unseat Senator Lindsey Graham should he win the nomination as expected. Fairfield Democratic Representative Annie McDaniel, who is the chair of the South Carolina Legislative Black Caucus, gave remarks, as well as Richland County Senator Tamika Isaac Devine. Another state legislator, Representative Jermaine Johnson, the Hopkins Democrat, is seeking to become the Democratic nominee for governor, and he told the crowd in his booming voice that Dr. King's dream needed to be revisited.
But I feel like we are not honoring the true Dr. King, the radical Dr. King, the Dr. King that said he wanted reparations for his people, the Dr. King that showed up for all of us, the Dr. King that said we were going to make it to the mountaintop and see the promised land. But I feel like somewhere along the way, we got stuck on the side of that mountaintop. We got stuck on a cliff, and we let him down. But in 2026, we have an opportunity to put our walking shoes back on. We have an opportunity to pick up that walking stick. We have an opportunity to change this state for the better. Because in 2026, when we work together, when we start walking to that ballot box, we will take this state back. We will take this country back. We will change it for everybody else. Because once we do that, we will truly see freedom ring from the hustle and bustle of the upstate down to the rural areas of Hampton, Jasper, and Allendale. We will truly see freedom ring from the Native American lands of the PD down to the Gullah Geechee country of the Low Country. Freedom ring from the Midlands all the way down to Charleston. We will truly see freedom ring in the way that Dr. King wanted us to see it, because our time is now. It is not tomorrow. It is not next week. It is today. We have the opportunity to do something amazing.
Jamie Harrison put his party hat on about voting for change to the Republican status quo, echoing a phrase we've heard from the state party over recent elections that plays off the state motto, "While I breathe, I hope," saying instead, "While I breathe, I vote." Again, driving that turnout message home, even when he himself saw a 10-point margin loss against Senator Lindsey Graham in 2020 for that Senate seat. Here's Jamie.
This year, here in the Palmetto State of South Carolina, we will choose a new governor. This year in South Carolina, we'll choose a United States Senator. We'll choose members of Congress all over the state, and every member of the South Carolina State House is on the ballot. And my friends, those choices will determine whether barriers to progress are either reinforced or removed. The time is now to demand the representation that we deserve, the leadership that protects the right to vote, expands opportunity, and reflects the lived experiences of our communities.
Getting the vote out and organizing is something South Carolina Democratic Party Chairwoman Crystal Spain says is critical. And I will note that Mullins McLeod, who is the other Democrat running for governor, was not in attendance. Again, the party has also asked him not to run due to his disorderly conduct arrest earlier last year. And again, just reinforcing, the SCNAACP said all folks were invited. Another person who spoke was California Congressman Ro Khanna, whose congressional district encompasses Silicon Valley. He spoke of the need to bring equality and equity to folks, especially when it comes to technology, something he said he spoke to the late Democratic Congressman John Lewis about.
We cannot build a beloved community if this nation has islands of prosperity and huge masses of seas of despair. You cannot have a country where the billionaires keep getting tax breaks and building wealth, and other Americans are losing health care and child care and education. So I have a pretty simple view on Dr. King's holiday. We need to remember not just what he said about racial justice, not just what he said about peace and war and peace. We need to remember what he said about the economic development to build a beloved community. We need to make sure that the technology and AI revolution gives every person a stake.
Senator Cory Booker of New Jersey, who has attended this event before, including in 2019 in that wide open Democratic field. Yes, folks, get ready for next year because it's going to be like 2019 again. He's going to jump on that. But nearly 2 hours after the start of the program, Booker told the crowd of more than 1,000 folks that it's about those that fought for civil rights who sought to make true the promises made in the Declaration of Independence. Now, tell me if you hear a campaign slogan here.
If we leave here today and we don't carry with us the fierce urgency of now, then we have failed as inheritors. We have squandered the wealth. We have surrendered the power. Because what can you say of the American dream today? Well, I will tell you what I believe. I believe it is time that in our generation, we redeem the dream. We need to redeem the dream because still in this nation, people are going bankrupt because they can't afford their medical bills. We need to redeem the dream because in this nation, people who need life-saving prescriptions can't afford them. We need to redeem the dream because in our nation, millions of people work full-time jobs and still find themselves in poverty. We need to redeem the dream because Social Security payments are still low and too many of our elders live below the poverty line. We need to redeem the dream because while China and Germany double down with their investments in public education, we are defunding our schools and not providing for our children. We need to redeem the dream because we have too many of our young people who don't believe the dream works anymore, who see themselves unable to pay for their college education, think that a house for them is beyond their reach. We must redeem the dream.
Did you get it?
Yes.
Yes, I know. Get ready for it. But we were supposed to have a one-on-one with Booker after the march, which was misinterpreted to being after the program, 10:30 versus 1:30. So I would have had a one-on-one. Don't worry, we'll have more time, I'm assuming, in the future to do this. But Booker said he is focused on his 2026 re-election bid, not announcing anything for 2028. But like everyone that's come through the state, we're always watching. We're always watching. And he's also focused on getting other Dems reelected during these midterm elections. Now, Booker, who keynoted the 3-hour-long event, also spoke of the troubling comparisons between modern times and those we saw during the civil rights movement.
There may yet again in our life be unmasked people jumping out of masked vehicles, sweeping people off the streets, unjustly throwing them in jail. But this ain't new in America. We have seen the oppression before. Remember, Martin Luther King was on FBI watch list. They surveilled him. They trumped up charges against him, but he prevailed and his dream lives on. We are facing dire times. There is reason to be afraid, but remember the truth. You cannot have great courage without staring down great fear. You can't have great hope without experiencing great despair. Hope is not the absence of despair. Hope is the active conviction that despair will not have the last word. We, the people, will have the last word.
Booker also participated in the state Democratic Party's On the Road tour, a little thing they've been doing for big-name potential presidential contenders. He made stops in Edgefield, Barnwell, and Hampton counties on Saturday, and Beaufort and Dorchester on Sunday. Methinks we'll be seeing him more this year.
This is
2026.
Moving on and sticking to the trail, a little bit more of a firm campaign trail here. We're going to talk about the money race. Cha-ching! Cha-ching! Okay. Looking just at the governor's race, let's see who's got the money, honey. Lieutenant Governor Pamela Evette had the strongest fourth quarter haul with $963,000, giving her $1.1 million on hand, which includes a $300,000 loan from the third quarter. First District Congresswoman Nancy Mace raised $571,000 and has more than $860,000 on hand. Attorney General Alan Wilson came in third with $533,000. 5th District Congressman Ralph Norman raised $504,000 and loaned himself another $500,000, bringing his cash on hand to $1.8 million. $1 million of that is his own money, just so you know. And Spartanburg Senator Josh Kimbrell raised $18,000 and has $13,000 on hand. On the Democratic side, Representative Jermaine Johnson, who got in the race in the middle of the quarter, raised $214,000, and Mullins McLeod raised $27,000 and has loaned himself $2.3 million. Going back to Attorney General Alan Wilson, he tapped Florence Republican Senator Mike Rickenbach to be his running mate earlier this month.
2026 watch.
We are coming in hot, guys. That's right. Shots fired. A big get, honestly. A lot of people were talking about Mike. Alan got him. Now, it's only been since 2018 that gubernatorial candidates in this state can pick their own running mates.
Oh.
Yes. Governor Henry McMaster did just that with Lieutenant Governor Pamela Evette for the 2018 race.
Wow.
Now, Rickenbach is 54, and he was first elected to the state Senate in 2022 in a special election to fill the unexpired term previously represented by the late powerful state senator Hugh Leatherman, a giant in Florence. Rickenbach is an Ohio native who was adopted and is the president and owner of car dealerships in Florence and Bluffton. Rickenbach is a married father of two and is the sole black Republican senator in the upper chamber. Wilson and Rickenbach held an event in Florence on January 12th before a crowd of some 300 folks at Holt Brothers Barbecue. I was there, I was one of them, and Wilson introduced him before that crowd that knows him well.
And when I say all of these things, and these aren't all the things we're going to do, this is just the movie trailer. I was thinking of a man, a partner that I could do this with, someone who would have my back. A couple years ago, I started working with Mike Rickenbach. He was a brand new senator. Never met him before in my life. Our relationship started off kind of cordial. It was professional. But over time, I saw how he stood up there working in the Children's Committee, subcommittee in the state Senate, where we were able to get bills like the AI child sex abuse material bill passed. He was out there fighting for children. I love this guy. He's putting families first. As we started to talk in the fall, I remember one of the hooks that got me. I said, Mike, if you're my lieutenant governor, what do you want in your portfolio? He said, families.
Yeah.
Families.
Amen.
We want a South Carolina that will be affordable for families and profitable for businesses.
Yep.
Right? Profitable for businesses, affordable for families. When moms and dads sit down at the kitchen counter, when they sit down at the kitchen table, they're not having to decide between paying their health insurance or buying their kids food. We're going to do everything we can. Every single policy will be to make life more affordable and businesses more profitable and our communities more stable. That will be our North Star. That will be our true north. That is the direction we're going to take South Carolina.
Rickenbach spoke of his background growing his dealership amid the Great Recession into multiple locations and what drew him to Wilson.
Because, folks, without him, I wouldn't be here today. That's not hyperbole or rhetoric. It is because he took a child of a 14-year-old who had every reason not to be here. For all accounts, she should have said, let me take the easy road, but she didn't. I'm here because God has a plan and a vision for our life. He's got a plan and a vision for South Carolina. And I really believe that plan and vision includes Alan Wilson as the governor of this state and me working alongside of him because I know his heart. It doesn't mean that we're the smartest ticket. It doesn't mean that we've got the brilliant ideas. It doesn't mean that we corner the market on this is the only way to govern our state. But I do know his heart. And he's got a heart to do right by South Carolina. I know our heart. We've got a heart to say, God, for your glory and for people's good. And we will approach this with an open hand because we want what is best for South Carolinians. And we will work for affordability for families, profitability for businesses, and stability for our communities. Because all the wins of great infrastructure, it's important. Great jobs, it's important. Workforce development, education, those are all so important. But if people don't feel safe, if they don't feel safe, it doesn't matter nearly as much. So we will have a law and order community where people who would do you harm, people that would try to take what you've worked for, they need to feel the wrath of the rule of law, because no longer are we going to have a catch and release judicial system. No longer is it a revolving door. That deserves of applause because, folks, you worked hard to get what you have, and people who decide not to shouldn't take it away.
And that was just a short clip there. Don't worry, we'll be bringing you more of them from the campaign trail as it heats up. It's not going away, folks. That's right. So much, plus the State House. Ooh, we love it. We're here. Welcome to the wind down section, our little break from the news. We're glad you're here along with A.T. Shire, lead podcast producer.
Hello, folks. Yes, we both braved the cold and went into work on this national holiday.
We love it.
We love you so much.
Did the Bills win?
The Bills lost.
Oh, God, no,
in
really?
Quite devastating fashion, might I add. Yeah.
I don't watch
and
it.
The Bears also lost in a terrible fashion.
Incredible that the Bears made it this far. I've really not been keeping up.
No, yeah, it's weird to hear if you've been sort of checked out. It's true. But anyway, Gavin, you know who won? We did.
Oh!
Because we got calls.
Hey,
okay?
our own little Super Bowl.
We're going to do one here. Great friend calling in, okay? Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. Yar.
Happy New Year, everyone. This is correspondent Kevin, first-time caller all year. Welcome back, everybody. Happy New Year again. Congratulations on the male of the species, AT. Here's some advice that was given to me. Daily stretching is required. I have a girl and a boy. Boys are low-key, low-maintenance, low drama. But if there's a ledge or a portal to the upside down, they will try and take it. So work on your reflexes, because it's harder to keep the males alive, and they will test you daily to see if you still got it. All right, everybody, be good. Keep doing what you're doing. Bye.
Happy New Year to you, correspondent Kevin. We're approaching that. He probably, I don't know what he called, but we're approaching the demarcation line for Larry David.
He called single digits days, so he made it. It's just it's my fault that I didn't play it till now. Kevin, thank you for the advice. I'm a notoriously limber man. Gavin can attest. I am very bendy. We're gonna talk to your Achilles tendon really quick. We actually have your Achilles on the line.
Yeah, I got a question for AT. Yeah. How about you stretch me every now and then, huh?
Thank you for the advice.
Yeah.
Yes, Rena also, as a girl, she is also psychotic.
She got a motor, right? She's moving.
I have a head start. Hopefully this boy, for Caitlin's sake, I've said this a few times, hopefully for Caitlin's sake, we have like a bookish mama's boy. Oh. You know what I mean? Instead of having 3 ATs in the house, like trying to break everything.
That way you can get him to read all your Tolkien books, and like you can just, yes, you got that.
I can't wait.
I'm so excited.
It's going to be great to have another free labor intern for the pod.
Yeah. I mean, it's great. Another producer. You were one of 2 boys. I'm one of 3 boys.
Correct. Yeah.
I don't know how we did it. I think really being tough, not tough like you gotta beat the kids, but like my mother was such a disciplinarian. Like I don't know.
She's a teacher.
We did. We messed around a lot, but I never broke any bones. Like no one ever, like it was never too bad.
Gavin is snapping his femur tomorrow at the State House.
Here comes 40. But
he's got brittle bones,
you know,
folks.
like I don't know, like because I think you have to, because my brother has 3 boys, and I see that circus, and he's at that point now where it's just like the yelling and the order. And it's great that they're so. They push back a lot and they're a little argumentative and they're a little smart alecky, but whew.
I do hope that this child takes after Caitlin just at all, because Rena, no, it's just she's a nut
Free
job.
spirit.
Yeah, free spirit, psycho.
Well, I will share that I'm wearing my clothes that I purchased on a crate at Costco.
The piles in the middle. Gavin is sporting them, and honestly,
working today.
it looks better than I thought it would look.
Thank you.
For being on a pile of
Workwear,
clothes.
yeah.
So Gavin is wearing fleece-lined pants. He's wearing a
Caterpillar.
A Caterpillar. They make
Make pants
bulldozers.
now.
They make bulldozers.
From bulldozers to pants, folks.
I'm surprised that you don't have the ones made out of fire hose. You know what I'm talking about? Have you seen the pants made out of used fire hose?
Oh God, yeah. Maybe I mean we'll definitely.
And how thick is that flannel shirt you got on?
It's pretty decent. It's
It
a Wrangler.
it's decent.
It's really comfortable. I'm just howdy y'all, like, and I have like my Carhartt. It's a dry duck. It's a knockoff, but it's still good. It came in handy at the Battle of Cowpens, folks. I was out there for 2 days up in Cowpens near Gaffney. I stayed in the Greater Gaffney area. It was fantastic.
Of course, yeah, the classic Greater Gaffney area.
I have such disgusting habits when I'm on the road. You know this.
Yeah. Yeah,
just a little
break it down. Go off, King.
Peek behind the curtain.
Yeah.
I was so fortunate to like not only stay at a wonderful Hampton Inn, but it was near the outlets. My God, the wonderful outlets.
Yeah.
Didn't do any shopping, but I did go to the local super Walmart, which I enjoyed doing. So
I think this is one rung up from piles in Costco. But yeah, keep going.
because it's like the time when I'm like, oh, I get to cheat. I'm gonna have like processed foods.
None of these calories count.
No.
Yeah.
I get like 4 microwavable meals. They're the better kind, right? The better kind.
I don't like where this is going. Yeah. No, still microwaved in plastic. Yeah, I don't like that.
Oh, the warmed up plastic. And I get like a loaf of bread and some deli meat and some yogurts. It's psychotic. I was like, oh, I'm back on the trail. This is my place.
Mm-hmm.
You're just grabbing and going, making stuff. It worked out really well, but I even had like a cup of ramen out of a cup. It was not good. I'm like, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
It sustained me. I enjoyed it. I do a lot of good work, I feel like, when I'm actually in a hotel room, like crunching out stuff.
And like you're just taking an absolute medicinal amount
I got a great sleep both
sodium.
nights.
Yeah.
My heart rate was off the charts, but I got such a great sleep.
Yeah.
And then the morning breakfast was just more sodium.
Your feet are so swollen. Yeah.
I didn't even feel it in my boots under my fleece-lined pants. It was wild. I'm going to bring you guys a separate podcast about that, I think, or maybe a section of it in the future, just from the battle, because it was fascinating talking to people, especially in light of our license plates that are where the Revolutionary War was won.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a little contentious, not only that phrase, but also just the artwork on it. A lot of people do not like the new license plate. But I was talking to some reenactors, and I was talking to some people that know things. I mean, these guys, I talked to this one reenactor, and he spoke, no joke, for 45 minutes.
Yeah, they're about
great.
the lifestyle.
They know everything.
They're about
and
the
you're like,
lifestyle.
oh my gosh. So I got
big
some really
Ken
great
Burns,
stuff.
Walter Edgar fans. Yeah.
And it was just like the conditions during, 1861. So it was like cold, damp, rainy. There was like 7,000 people on the first day and then like a couple hundred the next day, I think Sunday. To see those people camping out and like firing the guns and the cavalry, it's like...
Listen to Gavin.
It was super interesting. I'm so SC250, folks. It's here.
Gavin gets a Subaru. He's wearing Caterpillar pants, and now he's talking about reenactments. What happened to this guy?
I might actually become a reenactor.
You should go back to those early 2020 wind downs and just listen to the travel, the journey Gavin has gone on. Anyway, folks, have a good week. Stay warm.
Stay warm.
Okay, stay warm.
Drip those faucets.
Exactly. But it's also going to be 50-something every day, so everyone cool out.
Wasn't
all right?
it 70 degrees 2 weeks ago?
Yeah, absolutely. Like 10 days ago, maybe.
Tank tops to flannel line pants.
Anyway, Gavin, outro. Do it.
Give us a shout like correspondent Kevin. We love hearing from you guys. 803-563-7169. Give us some love. Weigh in. Talk about your favorite Revolutionary War aspects. We don't like war, but my God, we're not under the British rule anymore.
Your favorite construction brands that are now making clothes.
Husqvarna.
I love my Husqvarna underwear, dude.
Check out my Husqvarna underwear and vest. You guys can also show us some love on Apple Podcasts or wherever your podcasts. Give us some reviews, give us some stars. We love that too. And stay up to date with the latest news on SCETV.org and SouthCarolinaPublicRadio.org, where you can also find the State House Gavel. And don't forget to support your local newspapers. The South Carolina Lede is a production of South Carolina Public Radio. Our producer is A.T. Shire. Amy Crouch is our supervising producer. Sean Birch is our executive producer. This podcast is produced with support from PRX and is made possible in part by a grant from the John S. and James L. Knight Foundation, as well as listener contributions to the ETV Endowment of South Carolina. For the South Carolina Lead, I'm Gavin Jackson. Be well, South Carolina. Yeah, I'm a slow drinker, and that's my origin story for today.
You ever see this movie Apocalypto?